Now, according to Harvey Hurst, developmental tasks are tasks which arises at or about a certain period in the life of the individual. Successful achievement of which leads to happiness and to success with later task, while failure in achieving the different developmental tasks leads to unhappiness and difficulty with later task. As I've said, developmental task is one that arises predictably and consistently at or about a certain period in the life of the individual. That is according to Havighurst 1948. So the concept of developmental task assumes that human development in modern societies is characterized by a long series of tasks that individuals have to learn throughout their lives. Some of these tasks are located in childhood and adolescence, as others arise during adulthood and old age. Successful achievement of a certain task is expected to lead to happiness and to success with later tasks, while failure may result in unhappiness individual, disapproval by the society, and difficulty with later tasks. Now, developmental tasks arise from three different sources. First, some are mainly based on physical maturation, such as learning to walk. The second source of developmental task involves personal values and aspirations. These personal factors result from the interaction between the ontogenetic and environmental factors and play an important role in the emergence of specific developmental tasks, such as choosing a certain occupational pathway. The third source of developmental task relates to socio-structural and cultural forces. Such influences are based on, for instance, laws and culturally shared expectations of development, such as age norms, determining the age range in which a specific developmental task has to be mastered. Developmental tasks are essential for their emotional growth and increasing maturity. The degree to which parents support or thwart this process partly determines how emotionally healthy their children will be. Why is knowing developmental tasks at every stage is important? Number one, it helps you to parent in ways that are more rewarding for you and more supportive of them. Second, it helps you to be more tolerant and patient and not take their behavior personally. And third, rather than blaming yourself or your children for behavior that may be frustrating yet developmentally driven, you can think about ways to respond that affirm them for practicing or mastering their developmental tasks and help you to cope with these challenging norms. Now, if Santrak has his stages of development, Havighurst also has age periods of development, and that is from infancy and early childhood, which is birth to 5 years, middle childhood 6 to 12 years, adolescence 13 to 17 years, early adulthood 18 to 35 years, middle age 36 to 60 years, and for later maturity that is over 60 years. Human development focuses on human growth and changes across the lifespan, including physical, cognitive, social, intellectual, perceptual, personality, and emotional growth. The study of human developmental stages is essential to understanding how human learns, matures, and adapts. Throughout their lives, humans go through various stages of development. The human being is either in a state of growth or decline, but either condition imparts change. Some aspects of our life change very little over time, are consistent. Other aspects change dramatically. By understanding these changes, we can better respond and plan ahead effectively. Now go to the different developmental tasks in infancy and early childhood, aging from 0 to 6. So the different developmental tasks includes learning to walk, learning to crawl, learning to take solid food, learning to talk, learning to control the elimination of body waste, learning sex differences and sexual modesty, getting ready to read, and forming concepts and learning language to describe social and physical reality. The different developmental tasks in middle childhood includes learning physical skills necessary for ordinary games, learning to get along with age mates, building wholesome attitudes toward oneself as a growing organism, learning on appropriate masculine or feminine social role, developing concepts necessary for everyday living, developing conscience, morality, and the scale of values, achieving personal independence, and developing attitudes toward social groups and institutions. Now, here are the different developmental tasks that you need to achieve in your age. Achieving new and more mature relations with age mates of both sexes, achieving a masculine or feminine social role, accepting one's physique and using the body effectively, achieving emotional independence of parents and other adults, preparing for marriage and family life, acquiring a set of values and an ethical system as a guide to behavior, and desiring and achieving socially responsible behavior. Early adulthood developmental task: selecting a mate, learning to live with a partner, starting family, rearing children, managing home, getting started in occupation, taking on civic responsibility, and finding a conjugal social group. The developmental task in middle ages, aging from 30 through 60 years, includes assisting teenage children to become responsible and happy adults, achieving adult social and civic responsibility, reaching and maintaining satisfactory performance in one's occupational career, developing adult leisure time activities, relating oneself to one's spouse as a person, to accept and adjust to the physiological changes of middle age, and adjusting to aging parents. Later maturity or old age is aging from 60 and over, and these are the developmental tasks under this stage. We have adjusting to decreasing physical strength and health, adjusting to retirement and reduced income, adjusting to death of a spouse, establishing an explicit affiliation with one's age group, adopting and adapting social roles in a flexible way, and establishing satisfactory physical living arrangements. The developmental task theory of Robert J. Havighurst elaborated in the most systematic and extensive manner. His main assertion is that development is continuous throughout the entire lifespan, occurring in stages where the individual moves from one stage to next by means of successful resolution of problems or performance of developmental tasks.